Lately the question I've been asking myself is, okay, maybe it might sound like this is over regulation because over regulations do collapse governments, it collapses empires. I believe that one of the contributors of the Roman Empire collapsing is because of over regulation. I might be wrong. But, anyways, the thing that keeps bothering me every time when I watch the ad hoc committee in Parliament doing their job, a job that we shouldn't be here. We shouldn't be what they are doing today. Because I do agree with the school of thought that this is grandstanding. I mean, I said it from the word go when they started with this ad hoc committee. I was like, guys, you dropped the ball. You all dropped the ball on the 5th of March when General Katam Kwanazi came before y'all and made some serious allegations that could compromise, not only compromise, jeopardize the national security of this country, even our sovereignty. And then you guys are mandated by the people of South Africa through your promises. Because no political party that came to campaign either door to door on their posters or billboards or their television ads, their rallies and all of that stuff where they did not have promises. They promised the people of South Africa all the stuff that are not happening right now. Now, people of South Africa are desperate. Not only are we desperate, but we are also despondent. We, a whole bunch of people have given up, and another whole bunch of people still don't know what is the whole purpose of voting. And as a result of that, y'all become complacent the moment you are seated in parliament. Because we're not supposed to be here. To be honest with you, South Africa is not supposed to be here. We are not supposed to be stuck. I, I, I always feel like South Africa is stuck in the 60s in terms of mindset, the feel of South Africa. Those that have traveled will tell you that South Africa is so far behind in terms of mindset. Yes, we are modernizing the face of South Africa in terms of technology and infrastructure and all of that because we get praised on that. Everybody that comes to South Africa that have never been here, the first thing that they notice is, oh my goodness, it's so familiar to me. It's like where I am coming from. But when it comes to the people, our mindset is so backward. And I understand why we are so backward. We take everything. And I think the biggest contributor to this is two things or two elements. The first one is soccer culture. Oh, Shem, you can never tell a South African about their favorite soccer team or soccer club. I'm not a soccer person, but that that benchmark that I am making or I am pitting you guys against is that we have that soccer mentality that yo mean what for life type of situation. I'm not gonna mention names. And then the second element is our churches, pastors in particular. People in this country will, and I will, you'll see it in the comment section, they will bite your head off the moment you point that out. And yet, these are the two main reasons sometimes why people vote the way they do. Because politicians have penetrated these two elements. They have penetrated it. And maybe with the soccer side, because it must stay whatever way. It must not be as murky, but that mentality is planted. With churches, politicians, they walk right into churches. They walk right into churches after they paid the people that are in charge of the church exuberant amounts of money. And to me, that is one of our issues in South Africa. You can come for me when it comes to all of those things, but the truth, if it's in the Bible as well, the truth will set you free. Only the truth will set the people of South Africa free, and not be all emotional. And because once we are emotional, we tend to work against ourselves, unfortunately. The emotions are dangerous, especially in a setting like South Africa. Instead of moving forward, we are retrogressing. And how is that working for us? It's not. And same goes now with the people that we vote for and we put in parliament. Now we created a third element, that parliament. There are people in there that people of this country would bite your head off for simply holding them accountable. You get accused of hate. And I ask myself, what's the difference between y'all when I criticize your demigod? And then you say, oh, you hate him. Oh, your hatred for this politician. And I'm like, how different are you from Nigerians when the moment you say, hey, go back home, go fix your country, and then they call you xenophobic. And if they don't call you xenophobic, they say you're so full of hate, you are envious. What difference are you between them and yourself? When I am criticizing your demigod, and then your conclusion, which is a lazy thinking, by the way, you say, I hate the individual. Instead of you saying, okay, what is the criticism here? And I've said this, I don't hate any of your demigods. I disrespect them. I disrespect them. We are in this situation today because your demigod contributed greatly into the damage of the Republic of South Africa. And you want me to love? Yeah, I'm just now putting it in your context because you say I hate. So now the opposite of hate is love, right? So you want me to love somebody that has destroyed this country. No, I disrespect him or her. I have no respect. There's a difference between hate. Hate has something to do with person to person and something happened between the two of them. You can't just hate somebody you've never met before. What kind of dumbness is that? And but disrespect, because respect is earned. It can be earned from afar, can be earned right here, can be earned even within the family structure. But if somebody in the family has compromised the family, yeah, you are part of the family, but I don't have no respect for you. Just like your demigod is a South African, I've got not. There's nothing I can do about that, but I don't have to respect them. Just like the men and women in that parliament. I'm so sorry, guys. There are only maybe two, three, or four that I can say I can give you the benefit of the doubt because I can see what you are doing. And it's unfortunate that you are doing this and you have no support. But I see the efforts. And then y'all, you expect us to respect you. Okay, no, let's put it this way. You expect us to love you. Because if we say, no, it's disrespect, they say we hate, you want us to love you. I have no love for y'all. I have disdain. I have disdain for your actions in that parliament. Now, the question I was asking myself after Cyril Ramaphosa, I was just sitting at night and just pondering, trying to catch my sleep. And I'm like, wait a minute, Cyril Ramaphosa in 2022 told Steenhuisen to a point where he says, let's leave that and let's move on about when Steenhuisen was asking him about Morgan Maumela. He lied, blatantly lied. And the videos will surface. And now suddenly, oh, I know Maumela. And those people in the NCOP smiling away and laughing because he said something a little bit funny. And I would have thought the people that have made promises to the people of South Africa would have stood up and said, Mr. President, we understand your explanation, but it does not remove the fact that you lied in Parliament. The least that a member of parliament could have suggested, or at least would have written to the Speaker of Parliament, is for investigations on the things that the president said in 2022 when he denied knowing Morgan Malman. Oh, no, it was okay. Good explanation. Let's keep it moving. And then you want me to respect you. We have a head of state that lied under oath in that house. And you guys, as members of parliament, it is your constitutional mandate to hold the executive accountable. That also includes when they perjure themselves in parliament, irrespective of how they explain themselves thereafter. The fact is, or the bottom line is, they had lied. And then you want us to say we are fixing South Africa. Njani, when in there, inside that parliament, you don't know that you need to get up and say, hang on a minute, Mr. President. That's not what you said in 2022. You said you don't know him. All that you could have done back then is to give that story that you told. That no, that man you are talking about is a child of a is a nephew of a woman I was married to 47 years ago. Great. I don't think we'll make a big deal out of it. But still, none of you say, but hang on a minute. You say you were with your advisor in Mr. Sibiya, who's now the deputy minister, as your advisor, and you are asking to whom this house belonged to. Shouldn't your advisor gave some kind of I don't know, not instructions. I don't know how the protocol in there. But the least he could have done was to do some digging for you and say, hey, Mr. President, I think there's a potential trouble here for you. No, that did not happen. Nobody's asking that question. So another question I'm asking myself is, now who holds parliamentarians accountable? Police are held accountable by the Parliament Portfolio Committee. They've done a horrible job. We will not be in the situation we are in terms of crime had they held for real the people that are in charge of the South African Police Service. Crimes that are supposed to be curbed by the intelligence wouldn't be so prevalent in South Africa if the portfolio committee, or in fact, it's not the portfolio committee, I think it's a joint standing committee on intelligence that sits in parliament. They are not calling the heads of these departments and asking why are South Africans being scammed in that manner when all of that should have been coiled. Is it foiled? Sorry, foiled. Cash in transit, foiled. Why are they so prevalent? Y'all are not doing your job. Now, who polices the members of parliament is what I want to know. Please don't tell me about a handbook or some ethics committee. Who runs that? Is it not them? And on top of that, I don't think that anybody that holds these people accountable should come from within, should be independent. And I don't know what it is, whether it's an organization or even KPMG if it has to. I'm just giving an example. Because they won't have any sort of relationship, personal relationship with these people. And now it's going to be about comradeship. How many members of the ANC are in this ethics committee that are going to defend the ANC people, and how many Action SA people in this committee that are going to protect Action SA? Then we are in a hamster wheel. And I suggest that as South Africans, we need to be the ones that hold these people accountable. Can't there be some kind of an in a commission of inquiry that is run by the public, of course, with the guidance, and I suggested in my community tab by former Chief Justice Mogoeng, so that when we make our recommendations, because I'm telling you right now, if I had to make recommendations about the men and women in that parliament, I would say remove them all of them because they already have IEC lists, right? And those lists they last for this parliament till the end of this parliament. So the people next in line are the ones that are going to replace them, and they would have seen what happened to their comrades, and then they are going to deliver on those promises because South Africans don't have the culture of running to courts. We are not a court oriented nation. And I understand why we are not a court oriented nation because it costs money to go to court. In case you did not know, you can take a person that promised to marry you to court when they actually don't marry you and they marry somebody else. It's called a breach of promise. So our promises have been breached by these members of parliament. They told us they're going to hold people accountable, they're going to hold themselves accountable, and we must hold them accountable if they don't deliver. We have the right to ask them to step down. But we all know it's just talk. Because we are looking for somebody that is going to relieve us or to release us from this despondency, this desperation that we are in. And that's why people vote because of the promises you made. Are they fulfilling those promises or they're busy grandstanding in there? Same goes with the that committee that is sitting on RAF. How long have they known about the issues of RAF? These issues, I've known about them since the early 2000s. Since the early 2000s, I've known about these issues. Family members that were in a car accident, and then the money doesn't get paid directly to them, but it's paid through their lawyers, and the lawyer, boom, it's everything and gives you just 100,000 out of 12 million rand. Because some lawyers they think, oh, about Fundile, they're not educated. What would they? What do they know about money? And then you are happy with that 100,000. But some of us were like, I'm sorry, you got paid 100,000, and then when you do a little research, you find out actually it's 12 million rand, and now we have to go fight the lawyer. Those issues have been in existence for years. And that is why now we are having this grandstanding in that committee that is busy investigating. It's a good thing they're investigating because, of course, now the rot is coming out. But all of this rot wouldn't have happened in the first place if a portfolio committee that is responsible for the purse of the RAF had they listened to the complaints, had they listened, because that's your job, right? You said you were going to listen. And then from there, you are going to take action on behalf of the people. Where is it? Where is it? Now you're busy grandstanding. Now, how do we hold you accountable for the mess in RAF? That for me, the biggest departments that I feel those members of parliament ought to be removed from them is police, the portfolio committee for police, the health, the education, the even the military. They need to go. They need to be replaced with people that are capable, people that are efficient, that people are on the ball, not sleep on it. Of course, there are other departments, home affairs as well. I feel they also need to be held accountable. Now, South Africans, when South Africans think, oh, our government is listening, they turn around and they extend ZAP. For who? How is that in the best interest of South Africans? Because that is what you promise. We will put your best interest as a priority. And South Africans are busy saying, hey, we are we are having issues at clinics, we are having issues at the job market, we are having issues with crime, we are having issues with schools. Our children last sometimes don't get space. If they do get a space, now we're gonna have to dig in our pockets for these children to take transport to a whole different district, even a whole different town for education because the local school in their neighborhood is jam packed with zap children. What is wrong with you guys? What is wrong with you guys? You are sitting on your ears. Y'all are sitting on your ears. And now you want a grandstand. Sooner or later, we are going to have another ad hoc committee on home affairs. How ZAP was granted. Da 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 da. You sleeping on the job in the home affairs portfolio committee. How did this happen? I get it. Constitutionally, is it constitutionally? I think it's constitutionally. The minister does have a prerogative. He can make decisions. But are these decisions informed? And if they are informed, informed by what? We never got told. There was no consultation with South Africans because democracy is also part of public um, participation. You should have said, okay, I know I have the right to decide, but let me go to the people of South Africa and hear them. I will present this. I'm extending it, yes or no. You guys are disappointing. And then you want us to love y'all, respect you. I'm sorry, I can't. Y'all need to go. Y'all need to go. So I don't know, fellow South Africans, what are your thoughts about this? Because you can even tell my spirit is just so. It, I'm frustrated. I am frustrated. And what frustrates me the most is that you, the South Africans, you're not listening. You're not paying attention. You are ready after this video or during this video. Already, where I am in this video, there's already comments without listening to the entire video being bashed. You see, you are your own enemy. And these parliamentarians know that. And then they are taking advantage. And then 5 years later, they will be knocking on your door to tell you the same promise. And then what's next? Nigerian extension. They're gonna also have an equivalent of a ZAP to Nigerians, Malans, and all these people. And you are going to only have fake outrage when you should have taken that rage on a ballot paper. What about your using your voice right now? Who polices the members of parliament is what I want to know. And please don't tell me about internal structures because clearly they are failing. Who holds them accountable? Oh, you're gonna say, oh, the balance of power with checks and balances. The moment the judiciary sends out some kind of a checks and balance recommendations, they're gonna say it's overreaching, and they're gonna then weaponize us against them. I know my thoughts are all over the place because I am so frustrated. I'm so frustrated, guys. This country frustrates the living daylight out of me. And I know I'm not the only one. There's a whole lot of us that try our level best to make sense of what's going on in South Africa. But we keep failing, guys. We keep failing because when you are trying to say, hey, let's sit down and let's talk about this, you get people attacking you, people accusing you of hate. Hate. Are you that lazy? Because it's clear, like how the Nigerians, they call you lazy, they call you stupid, they call you jealous and envious because they want to shut you down. That strategy is the dumbest strategy I have ever come across in my entire life because it's not true. To hate somebody is to have interacted with them in person and then they either betrayed you or they did something horrible to you, and then you develop, it starts with resentment manifests then to hatred. But the word disrespect, you'll never hear it from their mouth, because that's exactly what I'm doing, disrespecting them. That's what I'm doing. Disrespect. That's a smart thing to say. Why do you disrespect so and so? And then I will tell you. But I don't have to now tell you in private. They contributed in the destruction of this country. Yeah, they contributed in the destruction of this country. And I will have no respect for such an individual. Because look at where we are today. Corruption got normalized, and then we were beaten into submission. And now, I don't know if you've been to a function where all these entrepreneurs, they come driving their fancy cars. Let's say, in most cases, I've seen this like in family gathering, maybe some other people's family gatherings, either a funeral or a wedding or msebenzi, and then one of the kids, who of course the grown-ups, is friends with one of the entrepreneurs, or somebody that is friends with a entrepreneur, and then they come to this function, and then the first thing that they are provided is like a VIP area, and then everybody else just tiptoes around them, and then they don't even, they can't even go there and talk to them, because there's this already uh, class or classism that is taking place in a funeral or umsebenzi, a birthday party, or wedding, or whatever the case might be. I feel like this is South Africa as a whole. We look at these other guys that drive a Lamborghini are blue as important. Who are we to say anything? Who are we to say anything? Who are we to approach them and say hello? That's the mentality I see many South Africans have. But say something about one of those people that are sitting in the VIP at your house, Msebenzi funeral or wedding, and then somebody will defend them. I will defend them, will even take a bottle of an empty beer, and that is what they've done to us. They've taken away our very own self from us. You just surrendered it to them. So that is why there's grandstanding in Parliament on something that we shouldn't even be discussing, because it wouldn't have happened had they been doing their job. So the point that I'm trying to make here is, in order for South Africa to run and for promises to be delivered, we need to make it very uncomfortable for parliamentarians, whether they are at National Assembly, NCOP, or they are at provincial legislatures or in council houses. Wherever they are, we make it uncomfortable for them, because clearly we are not going to make politics unattractive. I don't think that's going to happen. But the alternative to that is making it uncomfortable to them. Remind them. In Zulu, we say "ukubalisa," yababalisela. I don't know what's the word in English to balisela. It's like reminding them. Ukuthi, you are there because of me, so do your job that I sent you there for. Do your job. So we need to make it uncomfortable for the parliamentarians, so the parliamentarians make it uncomfortable for those that are in charge of the police, those are in charge of our healthcare system, those that are in charge of our home affairs and immigration, those are in charge of education. We make it uncomfortable for the parliamentarians, make it uncomfortable for mayors, make it uncomfortable for premiers. So they put the pressure on their executives to deliver. I don't know. That's the stuff that I think about when I'm lying in bed trying to catch my sleep, which actually sometimes be like, there's too much going on for you to sleep. I don't know what your thoughts are, guys. I don't know what your thoughts are, but something's got to give at the end of the day. The enablers here, it is us. We enable these people to be complacent because we don't, we've surrendered our power. I don't think many people even know the power that they have, including the 40% that did not go and vote because they thought they were powerless. You're not powerless, guys. The power rests with us. Without us, they don't exist. They really don't exist without us. And we need to reclaim that power. We need to teach ourselves about that power. And we need to use it very wisely and responsibly. But I know, I know that's the sad part. And another thing that I know some of you are not gonna like, whether we like it or not, whether we like it or not, as long as we are divided along racial lines, this country will not gonna go anywhere. If black people and white people don't find each other, and yes, there'll be those that don't want to work or gel with us. It's fine. They are a drop in the ocean. But can you imagine the rest of us? For once, we stop seeing skin color. I know it's there. Oh my goodness, I know it's there. I know it's there. But at the end of the day, how's it working for any of us? How is the division working for you, white people? How is the division working for us, black people? How's the division working for you, Indians? How's the division working for you, colored people? How's it working for you, South African Chinese? Oh, when I say South African Chinese, I'm talking about the ones that have been here for hundreds of years, not the ones that just came recently. How's it working for us, guys? Because I can bet you right now, go to any campus in South Africa during lunchtime. You see cliques of white people by themselves. You see cliques of black people by themselves. You see cliques of Indian people by themselves. And you see cliques of colored people who are just like, okay, where do I belong between these two groups? How's it working? Because our politicians, the moment when they need to be held accountable, they drop apartheid card, and then we all remind ourselves, oh, by the way, we don't like each other. And then they get away with corruption. They get away with serving us. How's it working for us? Have we ever thought about this? Have we ever thought about this? Can you imagine if black people, white people, colored people, Indian people in our respective cities, as we go to the local government elections, we look at the political parties and say, see you some other time. We are going to do our thing. We are going to emerge our own people, put them in front of us and say, hey, whether it's a white person, an Indian person, a colored person, a black person, man, woman, it doesn't matter. And then we present this person or these people and say, they are capable of turning a Kurleni around. They are capable of turning a Tekwini around. They are capable of turning Johannesburg around. They got the talent, they got the skills, they got all that stuff. And then we all rally around that person. Can you imagine the amount of fixing we can do if we worked together. Some of y'all got resources. Put those resources behind that person or the group of people, not a political party. Because political parties they come with punchlines. Some of them come with the apartheid card. Some come with racist cards. So I don't know, guys. I'm bothered. I'm most bothered by my people. I'm talking all of us, South Africans, black, white, Indian, colored, in Chinese, South African Chinese, to be specific. I worry about us because I think we are letting go of so many things. We are easily distracted. Is another thing. Yo, we are so easily distracted right now. Congratulations to Bafana, by the way. Wow, 24 years. 24. Wow. Anyways, congratulations. But I feel like we are now too focused on there. Great, celebrate one day. Fine, fantastic. Let's now get back to what is affecting us on a daily basis. We are all under the same roof, guys. We are all under the same roof and we are all getting hard done by politicians. But then I want you to help me. How or who holds members of parliament accountable? Shouldn't it be us? Should we also have our own commission of inquiry and bring these departments that are failing South Africa and then we make our recommendations? And our recommendations must be binding. If we say MP so and so step down, they better step down or they're in contempt. Can't we have something like that? Because right now, all I am seeing is acting, grandstanding. And on top of that, instead of focusing on the big picture, they play politics. Like in the head of committee. Oh, politics, it's playing a major role. And they have forgotten that the South African police service is infiltrated. They want to play politics with each other in front of us. Let me leave this video right here before I started getting all worked out. My spirit is broken. I don't want to lie. My spirit is broken. It's broken for us. It's broken when I am watching the ad hoc committee, when I am also listening to how we are being disrespected. Brown Mkhotsi is like, give me an extension. But it was him who says, I'm waiting for my chance on in a right platform. The platform is here, two of them. But he's saying, no, I'm not coming. Why is he doing that? Because he knows South Africans are just gonna say, "Oh, we'll talk, 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 talk," but Dr. Salah is not gonna be there, and they're gonna grant him that extension instead of saying, "No, you're subpoenaed, sir. If you don't appear, we will arrest you for contempt." I too. Such is our country. Such is South Africa. I don't know. I really, really don't know. Can somebody please say something that is going to uplift my spirit, please? And I'm not talking um okay, whatever, it will work. Because right now I'm so discouraged, and I'm mostly discouraged by us. It is us that discourages me the most because that's where the power is, and we are not using it. We letting 400 men and women run our lives. but they are not delivering. They are running our lives. 400. And how many of us? Again, 61, but 400 people determine whether we are going to go to bed hungry tonight or filled. They determine whether we are safe in our houses or not, or whether we are safe when we're driving our cars and we stop at the stop sign and nobody is going to come and break our windows. They're the ones who are in charge of all of that. But we are not doing anything to hold them accountable. Demand that they step down when they don't deliver. One life in South Africa is too many, irrespective of the race, gender, irrespective of any other features that we come with as human beings. One is way too many. One street with potholes is way too many. Not in 2025, guys. In 2025. And I was also speaking about how this one, as sometimes I just catch myself going, now, how did this thought invade my mind? Matriculants. It's Umelusi. At that time, they were going to have a press conference about the study of readiness, or state of readiness. And then part of this was about security. And I'm like, in 2025, we're still worried about papers leaking? When are the matrix going to start writing examination with technology? When? And why, after writing examination, you still have to wait for the results? And then you go through December. Sometimes even knowing, like with me, I know I did well in metric, but tell me why I was having nightmares and I will wake up sweating bullets, terrified. Yet I knew that I did. Can you imagine when you don't know that you did well or not? You still have to go through December, Christmas, and all these things. And then New Year's, and then you worry now. And people that have gone through this, you know what I'm talking about. And then why do we still get our results still in 2025? Uma newspapers, you see why I'm saying I think we are stuck in the 1960s. We are still stuck in the 1960s. And no, I think it's safe to say in the 1960s. We are not even close to the 90s just yet. I guys know. And our politicians love it. Oh, they love it. Because tell me why there are kids that are still dropping out of school in the 21st century. Tell me why. And tomorrow, what are they going to become? Because the 21st century demands, doesn't even require, it demands that you have a skill set. If you don't have a skill set, you need to have a qualification. And I'm talking university qualification, not a bachelor's degree. That's just it's as good as the paper is written on. Not even an honors degree. From masters, yeah, you're beginning to talk. And it's gonna get worse with time in this century. And then you are still dropping out of school. What are you going to become? What are you gonna become? So that means you're gonna be a nuisance and a burden on the state if you're not going to commit crimes. And I'm telling you, crimes are gonna be a little bit difficult to commit as we move into the as the fourth industrial revolution matures. What crime are you gonna be committing? Because that crime, if you wanna commit it, that means you should have went to school first. Hey, Guys, ayeng mina ngazi kuningi. Ave kuningi shem. But the disappointing factor here is us. Just Tina. We protect our political demigods with everything we got. Dare you say something like that about my demigod? It's like, how dare you say something or criticize my pastor? They're humans. Ah. Anyways, I think I will leave this. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. But okay, it is what it is. Please don't leave without liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.